I had gotten home from work about an hour ago and was hunkered down inside for the night, sitting on my bed and watching TV. There was a storm outside. We don't usually get too many big thunderstorms around here, so nights like these always made me a bit nervous. A little way into the storm, I heard something below me, like downstairs in one of the rooms. I thought it was just the house creaking, but feeling uneasy, I got up and checked anyway. There was nothing. I filled up my water bottle and went back up to my room. It felt like I was only upstairs for a few minutes before I heard something again. This time, it was a sound I recognized instantly, the unmistakable crash of one of my lamps in the living room falling over. I know it sounds weird how specific that is and how I'd know it, but the lamp was notoriously unstable and would often fall if bumped into. In the spot I had it, I'd bump into it pretty often. However, even though it was wobbly, it had never fallen over on its own before. I got back up and went downstairs to the living room, finding the lamp lying in the middle of the room. I walked over and picked it up, but something about the whole situation just didn't feel right. The storm wasn't shaking the house very much at all, so the lamp falling over by itself didn't make sense to me. Still, I almost had to assume that's what happened because there was nothing else to suggest otherwise. Even then, in my gut, I knew that wasn't the case. I checked around the bottom floor for anything unusual but eventually went back upstairs to my room. I turned down the volume on the TV and listened to the storm a bit closer. Maybe it was worse than I thought and shaking the house. I stayed up there for a while longer, say, about 45 minutes, when I suddenly noticed the rain getting louder. It didn't just seem louder, it sounded different. It was almost as if it was inside the walls. I'm not sure how to describe it, but I knew something was off. I opened my bedroom door and could immediately hear it more clearly, coming from downstairs. I walked down and followed the sound to the hallway. At the end, near the kitchen, there was an awkward door to a storage closet. I knew there was a window in there. I could hear the sound of rain pouring down from behind the closet door. Anxiety built up in me as I opened it and saw the window wide open. Water was puddling on the boxes below the window, and rain was slapping against the windowsill. It had been at least 6 months since I'd last been in that storage closet, but I knew for sure I had never touched that window, let alone left it open. I shut it to block out the sound of the rain, then turned to face the rest of my house, terrified and literally shaking. I had made the mistake of leaving my phone upstairs on my bed. At that moment, I had two choices: run up and grab it or run straight out of the house. Honestly, I was so scared I couldn't think straight. I carefully and quietly grabbed my car keys from the kitchen and started to slowly walk down the hallway toward the front door, hoping if someone was in the house, they wouldn't hear me. I got about halfway there before I heard a sudden burst of footsteps sprinting down the upstairs hallway right above me. They were heading toward the stairs. Panicking, I bolted for the front door. I could hear them getting closer, their footsteps pounding down the stairs as I flung the door open and ran out into the rain. I got into my car, backed out of the driveway, and drove away without even looking back. I was able to call 911 from my car. When the officers arrived, they found nothing, just an empty house. Upon investigating further, they realized the wall in the closet with the window ran along the end table where the lamp was. It's likely the vibrations from someone forcing the old window open had knocked over the lamp. Whoever had broken in left no clues as to why. It seemed like they had been hiding upstairs, possibly waiting for me to go to sleep before doing whatever they had planned. Whether it was robbery or something worse, I'll never know. What's most disturbing to me is the thought of someone walking around my house that night, right outside my bedroom door, while I sat there, completely unaware, watching TV. Even now, I still get unsettled when I'm alone in my house, feeling like someone's there who shouldn't be. For weeks after the break-in, I found it nearly impossible to relax in my own home. Every creak, every shadow cast by the streetlights outside seemed to carry a new weight. I replaced the storage closet window, installed locks on every door and window, and even set up a security system. Yet none of it really brought me peace. The most unsettling part was how calculated the break-in seemed. Whoever it was had to know I was home. They waited. They stayed quiet. And when they realized I wasn't going to sleep anytime soon, they left. It wasn't random, and that thought kept me up at night. About a month later, I started noticing strange things again. At first, they were small, barely enough to raise suspicion. The back porch light flickered once or twice when I knew I had replaced the bulb recently. A chair on the patio would be slightly shifted, even though I hadn't been outside. Then one morning, I came downstairs and noticed muddy footprints leading from the back door to the living room. My stomach dropped. I froze in place, my mind racing through possibilities. The back door was locked. The windows were all secure. Whoever had been inside had somehow gotten in and out without disturbing anything else, or triggering my security system. This time, I didn't hesitate. I called the police immediately, and they sent someone over to check the house. They found no one, but they did confirm the footprints belonged to a man, based on the shoe size and tread pattern. That wasn't exactly comforting. The officers recommended I install cameras around the house, and I wasted no time doing it. I placed cameras on the front porch, the back patio, and even in the hallway leading to my bedroom. For a while, it seemed like the cameras did their job. Weeks went by without incident. I started to feel like maybe whoever had been stalking me had moved on. But that sense of safety didn't last long. One night, around 2 a.m., my phone buzzed with an alert from the security system. Motion detected, back patio. Heart pounding, I opened the app to check the live feed. The camera showed nothing but the patio furniture bathed in the dim glow of the porch light. The motion must have been a stray animal, I thought. Still, I couldn't shake the uneasiness as I tried to fall back asleep. The next morning, when I reviewed the footage again, I noticed something I had missed in the dark of the night. At the edge of the frame, near the far corner of the patio, there was a figure, just barely visible. It was a man, standing completely still. His face was obscured by the hood of his jacket, but he was looking directly at the camera.